Hi there. Welcome back to the Whole Bucket and another super exciting episode of How I Cut Up a Whole Paper Pack. This is episode 3. I know you can hardly stand the thrilling must-see appointment TV that this is. Okay, enough silliness. I am going to do 2 different kinds of paper packs this time just to show a little bit of the difference in thinking around these 2 different kinds. So right here is a very special paper pack from Craft Consortium. I have a few of theirs now, and these are very expensive papers. Don't ever think that you need to go out and buy this silliness. I mean, if you fall in love with one and treat yourself, fine, right? But yikes. Oh, I'm good. Don't yawn yet. Okay. I got this and a couple other ones that I just fell in love with on sale. They were in my cart for I don't even know how long online, and I waited and waited and waited for months, literally, for them to come on sale. So if you're patient and you wait, maybe you too will get a sale on Craft Consortium paper. So super high quality paper and original hand-drawn designs in those papers. This particular one that I have is more of a whole pack of background papers than it is anything else. And it has all of these fussy cuts on the front of the cover and all of these fussy cuts on the back of the cover, so I will utilize those. And I pulled out one of each of the designs, and I'm going to be cutting these out. I'm not going to do all of them on this video, but I am going to use them to demonstrate, like I said, the ideas behind what I do with these. So I have a specific journal in mind that I will be using these for, and with that in mind, I am going to cut out an entire set of pieces with that particular journal in mind. Now, granted, there's all these designs that I have right here, and there's 4 of each page in that pack. So I'm not going to use all of it for one journal by any means, but what I am going to do is not put this in my bulk cut up stuff. Even though it's going to be cut up very similar as far as the sizes and the bits and pieces, right? It's not going in the bulk. It's going to go in a separate envelope along with all of the scraps that come out of this. So let me just get started immediately so I stop rambling. Right off the bat, look at that. Look at that. And I don't know what kind of paper this is. It feels like it might be a bit of a plastic coated. It doesn't feel ordinary, and you can see it's got a shine to it, right? Not a ton, but I'm not entirely sure how glue will work with this. I can't speak to any of that because I really haven't touched this since I got it. The first thing I'm going to do is always the biggest pieces first, right? So I'm going to create a folder first. You know what? I don't think this should be a folder. Yep. There seem to be different weights in here. So this seems to be a paper, a plastic coated paper. This seems to be a matte cardstock. So different treatments on different pages for sure. And then there's a... What else have we got? Oh, this one. I think I'm going to make a folder out of this one. I was wondering what I would do with this one, but I think this will make a cool folder. So let's try it right now. So it's this matte on one side, but it's gold, metallic gold, gold leaf on one side. So let's make a folder out of this. So first off, the folders are 8 inches tall. So I'll trim the 4 inches off the bottom right off the bat. And then they are 10 inches wide. And then I'm going to score right away at 1/4 inch. Did I do that wrong? I sure did. Okay. This way, I'm going to score at 1/4 inch. And 2 inches. And I'm also scoring on the wrong side, but I'm doing that because I don't want the glare on the camera too much. Once we fold this, it's already going to be glary enough. So then I do that one down the middle, and that's it for scoring and cutting as far as the trimmer is concerned. But then if you haven't seen this before, I'm just going to trim straight up that score line to the 2-inch score and on both sides of it. All that does is take out the tiniest little sliver in between those folder pockets. Okay, that's a scrap I don't feel like I need to save. And then fold this over, fold this over, fold this over, fold this over. I'm loving this paper already because I'm working kind of fast because I'm on camera and it's not splitting even though I scored it in the wrong direction and I'm folding really fast. I don't know what I'm going to do about this score right here that I made that was in the wrong spot, but I'm not going to waste this. It's just too expensive and too good quality to waste it just because I scored it goofy. I will figure it out. Looks like I didn't cut enough of that score line out. I wonder where I missed it. But this is coming together way too close, so I'm going to just try to get another sliver out. Oh, it fell right off. Okay. Let's see if that changed anything. All right, there I have my little folder. This will get sewn right into a signature, into a journal. It's got the metallic there, and then this will be the side where stuff gets tucked in, and I think it'll look so cool. I wish I had something to... I have some undone fussy cuts next to me, but yeah, stuff will get in there. It's gonna look amazing. I just know it is. So there I cut out a folder, and I think I want that paper I was using, the paper I had at first. I think I want this for the inside liner pages. So inside the front cover on each side. This is about 8 inches tall as well. And each one should be approximately 5 inches wide, but I'm going to give it 5.5 so that I can trim it to fit each book, each journal exactly. So there we have a front and back cover blarg cover sheet. Then I think I want a flip out. Don't flip out, man. Ha 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 ha. And let's see what this would look like. Maybe. How about this one? No. This one? Ooh, I kind of like that. That one? No. No, I don't like that one. Ooh, I like that though, but not there. Okay. Just one more to look at. No. And no, this is the winner. Okay, so this is going to be the cover paper, and this could also be the cover paper. It's beautiful on the flip side as well. So it's kind of a waste in this case, but because I'm doing a theme journal, that's going to happen. Oh, it's so sad. I'm going to do the flip at, I'm going to call it 7.5 inches this time. And I'm going to call the width at 6. That should give me my 2 pieces. And I'll show you what this is going to be like. So let's score this one on this side at 1 inch. Okay, so when I go to make a journal, here is my little demo journal. This is what it will look like inside the front cover. Now I'm wondering if I cut this the wrong size, because that's looking really small, isn't it? This piece right here, I mean, is looking super small. Did I cut this at the wrong place? No, I cut it at 5 and I cut it at 8. Okay. So anyway, let's put that back where it was. So here's what it'll be like. You'll open up the journal. This is what the front inside will look like, and then these bees will flip out this way. And then this will have pockets or tuck spots or, you know, all kinds of coolness will be in here. So there I have inside cover papers and flip outs for that journal. The other piece that I want to be sure to cut out of the double-sided paper, one can come out of this right here, because a paper one is just fine and a 4x4 is just fine. So this is 4 inches wide already. I'm going to cut off a 4-inch square, and then this becomes a little burrito. Let's see, let's put this on the 8. And then from this dot, I'm going to come in 1.5 inches. And this, the 4-inch size doesn't hit exactly right, so I go into the 3/4 spot, 3/4, 1.5, and it goes there. Same on the other side. There's the 3/4 mark. So 3/4, 1.5, and score. Now here's my little burrito. I have decided, see, I like the 5x5 burritos for belly bands, vertical belly bands. I have decided that I like this size for a horizontal belly band. And then I would just put a little something down on the bottom of the page to catch whatever goes in this belly band. But there is a lovely belly band tuck spot. So a card would go in here. This would be glued down, maybe even decorated. This would have something holding it down and closed. And then something could tuck inside here. You could even, instead of putting a stop down on the bottom of the page, you could even just glue this edge down so that this is now a pocket. So a few different things to do with that. But there's the 4-inch size, and let's do one out of the honeycomb page too. Four by 4 one. Oh, and I put this, whatever. Whatever. So again, I'm going to the closest dot inside, and 3/4 there, 3/4 there, 3/4 plus 3/4 is 1.5, and score. And I'm scoring the wrong side again because it's the metallic one and it's super shiny, and yeah, that would glare in people's faces too much. But let's see what it's going to look like. You could still use these smaller belly bands in a vertical position rather than horizontal, but that just isn't where it went in my head at the moment, right? But yeah, you could totally still use it this direction, but I kind of like it like this. So there is the 4-inch belly bands. And then the other thing I want to be sure to get out of here is 5x5 belly, or 5x5, you know, words and stuff. 5x5 burritos. So I'm going to make it out of this one. And I'll just do one, and then we'll move on to the other paper that I want to just show how project assigned packs are just a little bit different. This one, I believe, does this go in 2 inches from each side? I think it does. So 1, 2 inches from that dot, and then this one should also be on the 1/2 inch, and then 2 inches in from that dot. You think I'd remember where the numbers are, so I'd stop having to remeasure everything and recount. I scored it on the wrong side for no reason whatsoever this time, but just to show you, there actually isn't a wrong side in this case, because it's just sort of the negative version, right, of the same design. So I could have this one as a tall vertical belly band. This one won't really work in most of my books as a horizontal belly band, but it works this way. It could go either direction as far as the folding is concerned. So I kind of like the darker color being inside the pocket. And this gray is not my favorite, but it's going to have decoration on it. So there's always that. Then if I folded it the other way, it's got the lighter inside and it's got the darker outside, and I like that just as much. I'm not sure. I mean, it's really going to depend on the page which way I end up wanting to fold it, right? But let me show you something quick before I pull out the other pack and show you how things change. When I first learned about these burritos, the person was taking these top triangles. Well, I guess they're not top, they're top and or bottom, but cutting these triangles off, right? I don't remember who it was, or I would just flat out tell you, but I honestly don't remember. That was terrible cutting. I'll throwing the wrong things to the side. Anyway, in this particular case, right here, you would then glue this in place, maybe right on the edge like this. Or maybe fold it into the back. Either way, just glue this on a side and the bottom, and this is now a tiny tuck spot as well. You could glue it down here. You could glue it, fold it over to the back so they're even smaller. Glue it to the back and down here, which would give you a bigger pocket, right? And you'd still have a decorative thing right here holding the whole thing shut and making it all cohesive. One of my favorite journaling words. And then I'll show you what it looks like in the opposite configuration. So there it is in the opposite configuration. And in the near future, well, you know, February, when I actually start making things rather than pieces, I will show you how these can be decorated and how they vary quite a bit. And I will show you cut-off versions like this one and not cut-off versions like others. Okay, so let's get our large cutting board back. And I'll show you set number 2. So here we have a whole different idea. This is from Stamperia or Stamperia, or not sure if there's another way I can think of pronouncing it. Stamperia or Stamperia. Azuelos de Sueños. De Sueño. I don't know what that means at all. Is it Spanish? I don't even know. Nada es art. To me, that would mean nothing is art. But isn't everything art? I don't even know. Don't pretend you can read foreign languages. I mean, foreign to me, right? Not so great at foreign languages. Okay. I swear I'm a pro at rambling on and on. So, this is a whole different concept as far as if I have a project in mind that's going to use a specific thing. This one is a little bit more complicated. I'm not going to get into all of the different thought processes that go into this because I am not doing well today in the processing information department. So this will be the shortened version of choices you can make. So this is a template that is the basic size of a journal cover for me. And even if I made a bigger or smaller journal, this would still be, you know, if I cut out a piece with this template in mind, I could still border around it to make it bigger or cut it down to make it smaller and preserve the art as best I can. But here's what I do for a kit like this. I'm going to look through it and I'm going to use my template to first possibly find cover art pieces. Because, as you can see, Stamperia's kits have a lot of different things in them. Like, would this one with the door be cool on a cover? Well, it kind of is cool with the door and the window, right? But I think we can do better. These squares are really not the right size. For instance, there's better. What about this for a book cover? That's kind of fabulous right there. I don't like centering things too terribly much though, so maybe... Oh my, this is cool. Okay, so maybe more like this. That butterfly is a little more centered than I'm liking him to be, but I mean, it's fine. This is fine. This looks like a cool cover to me. So I'm going to keep that in mind while I just flip through the rest quickly. Here's a bunch of pre-designed tags for fussy cutting. Here are some more journaling cards if you wish, smaller than the last ones. Here's another page that would be good for cover art, possibly. What about the other one for the front cover and this one for the back cover? That seems kind of fun. They have some pre-made bookmarks and envelopes. Here's a little booklet template kind of thing. I don't know that I've seen that before, but that's fun. A label sort of, this is like a ticket format, right? So it's not a ticket because it doesn't have the cutouts, it doesn't have a perforation, anything like that, but think about, there's the big piece and there's the tear off bit. And then another journaling card. I bet this card fits in this envelope. Everything is printed on both sides, so there is the other side of the cards and the envelopes and such. What do we got going on here? I mean, it's cool, but I don't see cover art screaming at me here. And then there's that one. Oh, and that's that negative and positive effect on that one. See that? I think this is the last design, and then the back usually has little things on it too. Sometimes I've cut out even these tiny squares and used these tiny squares for things. So I think after that quick flip through, I think we're going to go ahead and cut this one for a front cover. And that other one for a back cover. And then I'll show you what's next. So I'm going to get this as straight as I possibly can with just the eyeballing effect. And then we're going to trim this puppy. Ooh, I'm so nervous. This is not like other packs, right? This is not like the other things I've shown you where there's several of each page. Stamperia is typically one of each thing. So you don't have a whole lot of chances here. I could do this with a ruler and my finger blade though, which would probably be smarter in this case. But I don't seem to be going for smarter. I seem to be going for, it'll work. Okay. So this is by no means the end of the cover piece, right? If you have a paper pack like this and you take something out for the cover like this, this could just be the cover art. You don't have to do anything more to it. But if you want to use this as a base and then layer on top of it and do mixed media on top of it and whatever, I mean, the sky's the limit, right? This is just, basically this is just inspiration. So let's set that aside. I'm going to pull the bulk pieces over here, and then let me pull out what I thought would be the back. And we'll cut this one out. I don't really like it this way. So I'm looking at it like if I just cut the two lines, this one and this one, this is what it would look like. And I don't really like that. I liked it a little better where I left a really thin margin around the square, and it set it kind of off to the side a little. Of course, you know what? This is going to be where the spine is attached to, so cloth or tape or something is going to come over this edge a little bit. So maybe I want to give myself a little more wiggle room on the side. So maybe I do that instead. I think I'm going to go with that. I just took away my own wiggle room. I think it'll be fine. I didn't take it all away, but I took away some of my wiggle room. It's okay. So when it's like this, when there are fewer options in the pack and when there is so much design going on, it's not just a matter of cutting out background pieces, right? You really need to think about where the art is and what you want it to end up looking like. So this is a little bit trickier, although it is still just paper. The world will not cave in if I cut the wrong pieces. I will make do and come up with a new plan. And so can you if you do this. So there we go. We got front cover, back cover. Now I want inside cover. So they need to be 5 inches wide and 8 inches tall. And I think I want them both the same. And I think I want them to be I think I'm going to use this because then I'm not really wasting any, like, I don't remember there being any precious design in here. But if I, yeah, if I use this one, I feel like I'm really utilizing the pieces in its best way. So I'm going to trim off the border. And then I want it to be 5 inches wide. I think I'm going to go 5.5 actually. Maybe. I hope I get another 5.5 inch piece out of here. I think I can. Exactly, 5.5. Okay. So I'm going to trim this off and then measure this at 8.5 inches. So this is a little bit bigger than the final piece will end up being, but it gives me, like I said with the other one, it gives me wiggle room. It gives me wiggle room, and wiggle room is important. Trimming properly for each page just makes everything end up nice. Okay, now, last thing I'm going to show you for this one, because basically when you look at the rest of this pack, right, whether or not you cut out any of these specifically is totally your choice. Are you going to use these or not use these? Do you want to cut out all your own shapes, or do you want to use some of the ones they're giving you? And the same is true for all of this stuff. But there's another generic piece. Actually, you know what? Let's do 2 more generic pieces. Here's a good one. And I don't know which other one to use, to be honest. Maybe this one, because it's the front cover, and then I'm also utilizing both covers. No, I can't do that. Both of these things have to be two-sided paper. What am I thinking, people? What am I thinking? Okay, I'll use these two. So I'll set that one aside for a second. Let's do the folder first. I want this to be a folder. Folders are 8 inches tall. I mean, mine are. They can certainly change and sometimes do, but if I want to cut things in bulk and quickly, I do 8 inches tall by 10 inches wide. Whoopsie. And I'll show you how quick and easy this is to make, just like we did before, but I will speed it up. Because once you get used to doing this, especially if you do a bunch the same, it goes super quick. Ow! Okay, don't go so quick you stab yourself. That was a bit ridiculous, and I can't see this. I can't see this score line to cut it out very well. A helpful hint, if you didn't see in my earlier videos or in someone else's video, if you take a dauber or some way of inking and just lightly ink the score lines, you can see them better. So obviously do that in a place that's going to be inconspicuous, right? Or that you're going to cut out anyway, but if you can't see your lines and you need to, that's a good cheat, is to just ink them a little bit. Alright, so now we have a folder, and oh, wouldn't you know, I screwed it up. Where did I screw this up? I screwed it up on which line I scored it. Did you see me do that? Did you know? You know what, I'm not going to worry about it, because I'll show you what I can do. So I've made an uneven folder. I'm just going to trim this little extra bit off, rather than stress about the whole gosh darn thing. There. Now we're back to having an even folder. So now we have a folder, and then the last page I'm going to do is this one. Although I don't like this pattern very much, but I have to remember that. What do I have to remember? I have to remember that they're decoratable. You got to get them decorated. What am I doing? I want it 8 inches tall. I think 8 inches tall. And then 6 inches wide. And they score at the 1 inch mark. And I will score them both along this. No, I just changed my mind on the fly. I'm going to score them on the side opposite the border. Okay, so let me show you what we have out of this now. Pretend this is our journal. I should really get a more naked sort of journal for demonstrating stuff, shouldn't I? Maybe someday I will get a naked journal and demonstrate. There is my cover piece. It does not go with purple and green. Flip this book over and there would be my back cover piece. if you opened this journal up, right inside the front cover, you would find this piece and this piece. Oops, upside down. And also technically upside down, although I don't think that pattern matters nearly as much. So this is what you would find inside the front cover. And this would be your fold out bit. I would definitely edge this because it's just too busy for my eyes right now. And I would be doing things to calm this down. Just calm down. And then at the back page, here's what you would have. If you wanted to, you could switch this around, right? And you could have this flip in the other direction. You don't have to put these flips in at all. You could put just one in the back and one in the front if you wanted, or none at all, or whatever. It's all about the feel that you want to create. And then this little jobby full of goodies would be in the center. Yeah, you know what? I need to get me a naked journal full of just a blank cover and tea-dyed papers, and not even very many of them. This shouldn't be hard. Why haven't I done that before? But yeah, look at that. Super cute. Super cute. Anyways, then you cut out the rest of the pieces and use them as you see fit. But this is, now I'm going to take this stuff and whatever else I decide to cut out, and again, set it aside in a separate envelope. The scraps might go in my mass cutting bin for other projects, but I'm going to make sure that I have all of these specific pieces set aside. This is the most complicated cutout because you only get one of each page, and they have some intricate art on them. And if it's for a project, I want to make sure that I don't do the thing where you flip it upside down and just cut it at random and see what happens, right? I want to make sure that I use it the way I want to. Same with this, in the sense that this is going into a separate envelope because it's for a project. So I'm going to cut out a bunch of pieces for that project, probably more than the project needs. I'm going to put a bunch of scraps into that envelope with it, and then the rest of the pack or the rest of the scraps, whatever I don't decide to save, can go in the mass population. Gen Pop. Right? Okay, so I mean, I guess that's it. That is the whole Cut Things Up series, I think. I mean, I'm sure that you will all miss the excitement that is paper cutting. But there you go. That's all of it. That's all there is to it. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I swear, in February, we'll get to actual art and actual creation and, you know, stuff. Okay, thanks. Bye. See ya.